So is this one actually going to work this time? Because YouTube has just fucked me 3 times. And it wasn't a good fuck, trust me. So I am Jeff the Producer. We are Muscle Talk Radio. It's like we are Venom. I am Jeff the Producer. By the way, the real Jeff the Producer, not this horseshit guy who stole my name. There is only one Jeff the Producer, and that will be me. All right, let's see if we're actually broadcasting.
I am Jeff.
Hey, we're broadcasting. Isn't that a beautiful fucking thing? Great. All right, so I've been doing these live broadcasts lately, and I've been asked to do a couple of videos when it comes to UFC fighters and their diets, because I did one with Tom Aspinall. And although on YouTube it says that not a lot of people have looked at it, like 7 or 8 or 13, whatever the number is, why am I getting so much positive feedback? Oh, little hair's out of place. Why am I getting so much positive feedback in my DMs telling me, hey, I watched the video, that was a pretty good breakdown. Can you look at Paddy the Baddy Pimblett's latest video, which I already did. I wasn't gonna critique it, but I did notice something, so I am gonna talk about it. So I said, screw it, why not? I mean, I have a background in bodybuilding and helping bodybuilders get in shape, and I have plenty of clients, and there's some tricks that I see that Paddy Pimblett could do in this video. Maybe I will reveal some of those, maybe not, but I'm gonna tell you what he's doing wrong, and I'm gonna tell you what his camp should be doing better. But listen, I'm just doing these videos because I feel like it. If I get paid, I'd let you know. I ain't getting shit. So here you go. Here we go. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, this is his dieting and weight cut right before he dominated Michael Chandler just a couple of weeks ago. So let's see what Paddy Pimblett does here. Ooh, my little arrows there. Isn't that a beautiful fucking thing? All right, here we go. That was very good of the camera guy to say 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Yeah. All right, so right now he's 190 pounds, right?
Being heavier to start with, like.
He has to get to 155.
We're eating 2,000 calories.
All right. So this is the first thing that I noticed, right? It says he's eating 2,000 calories a day, and I look at this breakdown, and at first glance, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It says Tuesday. It says calories 316, 16 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, and 45 grams of carbs. And I'm like, is this one of his 6 meals or something? It's crazy, right? But then I looked at it more, and I realized it looks like there's little sprinkles in here. And these sprinkles are indicative of the fact that this might be throwing us off a little bit, or deliberately, because this might be his dessert. And don't forget, he's still 190 pounds, so this is probably 8 weeks or 10 weeks out. He'll say it in the video. So, but when I saw this breakdown of, 16 grams of fat and 45 grams of protein, that's way off. Like, that's wrong. However, if it is a snack, or if it's a cheat meal, if it's a dessert, all right, then it makes sense, because that's really not a lot of fat, which is great. That's actually a good amount of protein if it comes to a dessert, and that's average. That's like, it's about the measurement of what a bagel would have in it. But still, I wouldn't be feeding him this 8 weeks out. I would allow him to have one cheat meal of whatever he wanted. I wouldn't be so strict with this, because there's a better way to do it. But let's just see how this video progresses. It's not a long video, but I'm going to stop it whenever I feel like it, so get ready.
It's on my macros, Chef said. Crunchy nuts in the morning, me applied nutrition drink, 280 calories in crunchy nuts. I just put all the calories in the calculator.
So he likes tracking calories. It looks like he's not really tracking macronutrients. He leaves that to his diet coach. So we really don't get an insight as to how much fat, protein, and carbs he's taking in. Total. I like watching these little interludes when he's fighting. But okay, so let's see what day this is. Did they say? Okay, February 28th. So now he's 6 weeks out. All right, I believe the first one we saw was 8 weeks out, right? So this is 6 weeks out. Now let's see how much weight he lost so far. It was 190 pounds, right?
So far. Fucking do me head in that. See what I mean?
All right, so 2 weeks, and he's 187 pounds. I mean, he's not dieting. All right, first problem.
It's not coming down enough. Well,
it's not coming down enough because, dude, I mean, if what I just looked at was your macronutrient breakdown and you're having desserts every single day, guess what? The fat's too high, the carbs are too high, and the protein is way too low. If anything, you should be averaging 40 grams of carbs 6 times a day for your body weight. Especially if your target weight is 155. Come on, man. 1.5 grams per pound of body weight.
That'll be the last cheat meal tonight. I'll get round.
I mean, 2 weeks in, he's having cheat meals. It should be no cheat meals until you've actually dieted for 2 weeks. Not start off with fucking cheat meals, because the official diet really starts 6 weeks out. So he wasted 2 weeks. That's why nothing's coming down. That's mistake number one.
What if you want, lad? Because I'll eat less then, you know what I mean? That's still 14.5 kilo.
So that's about, what, 30 pounds? 30 something pounds?
Alright, cool chat.
Let's see, where are we at now? March 3rd. So 5.5 weeks out. I guess we only passed a half week. So I'm guessing this is 4 days later.
277, Chris. Yeah, man. Alright, for some minute.
186, so he lost 1 pound in 3 days, which makes sense.
At least I've had done that. Done 3.5 miles this morning before I come in, and it's fucking freezing.
And you see, he's pretty shredded already.
So jealous of Michael Chandler, lad, just being able to fucking train in the heat. Yeah, going to Vegas Thursday, see this press conference, see what's happening.
So he's still in Liverpool, which is apparently very, very cold at this time. And Chandler's over there. I think he's in Vegas.
Very big disruption in my fight camp. Like, could affect me weight, yeah, which is annoying. Even though I started my diet early, my weight always annoys me, no matter what. So.
Well, you didn't really start on your diet, Paddy, because whatever macronutrient breakdown you were having and having cheat meals every single day, or even if you were having it the first 2 weeks, you didn't really start dieting until 3 days ago from this video, from the scene.
It's not come at the best time because I'll be in Vegas 5 weeks.
By the way, the weather has nothing to do with your weight. You might retain a little bit of water, but he's 6 weeks out, and there's tricks to get around it anyway. So
before the fight, but gotta get up.
But that's probably his nutritionist or some weird doctor telling him, yeah, you know, the weather does affect your weight. It's to appease fat people, trust me. It doesn't affect your weight at all. I mean, the Arnold Classic takes place in March. It's super fucking cold. It's like sub-zero temperatures. Come on, man. Do you see any of those guys on stage that are having a problem getting in shape? It's all horse shit. Oh, this is all right. This is actually really funny because he's starting a diet. He's starting to feel the diet. Apparently, I guess it's only been like 3 days in, and he goes crazy over the forks, which is hysterical.
Bought these forks, lad. Like, who the fuck bought them? Just nearly had a bit of plastic, lad. Whatever company makes these, you're a load of shit. You fucking bums.
You fucking bums.
You bastards can't even.
You bastards.
Put a little thick bit of plastic in.
You thick bit of plastic. I love this fucking guy. I love Paddy Pimblett. Huge fan.
No wonder there's 79p a pack. Who the fuck bought them, lad? Hey, Ben! Who the fuck bought them forks, lad?
Who the fuck? All right, 5 weeks out. So this is either 3 or 4 days later. All right, so it was on March 3rd, so it's only 3 days later. So I guess the other one was whatever. It doesn't matter. It's only a few days from when we last saw it. He really should be checking it every week, not 3 times in a week. 182. So he dropped 5 pounds. So he went from 187 to 182 in like 3 days. Because that's when the diet really started. And that's the kind of weight loss he should have seen. But a couple of things to keep in note. To lose 5 pounds in 3 days, you're not losing fat. You are dropping water. Because carbs, right? Water follows carbs. And as you deplete carbs, water is just going to come out of your system. So you're not losing muscle. You're not losing fat. But you are draining a lot of water. So this is probably going to be his biggest drop that like we noticed. But just watch. Pay attention.
It's better than the other day, lad. It's only 12.5k, innit? Fucking 5 weeks of dieting. Not using them shit forks today. Sure, Ben's got some better ones here.
So he just revealed that he was dieting for 5 weeks. Paddy, I hate to break it to you. You just started dieting 3 days ago, which is why you lost so much weight. So
no forks in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're well pithy.
He was using a double fork method because he couldn't take the fact that the other ones were so damn thin.
Well, more stable. There's ones Joel's made me, just for me, just so I can calorie count everything.
Actually, I think he's doing the double fork thing like right there.
Exactly, but still macro chef, of course, always looking after me. Joel's the man. Joel does all our stuff for us, sponsors a lot of athletes in here. But now, as you know, I have to get dialed in. I can't just have the same food as everyone else. I need a certain amount of carbs, certain amount of protein, certain amount of fat. So he does all that for me. Macro chef.
Yeah, he doesn't really say what it is, but there is a little breakdown. Let's fix this a little bit more. Where's that good? Posture up.
The best.
As Tim Welch would say, that's Sean O'Malley's coach.
Even out of camp, I have them. This will be hot enough now. Little broccoli, sausage, and sweet potato.
All right. Now let's look at this. Broccoli, sausage, and sweet potato fries, right? Not bad. It's not a lot of food. He definitely is going way too low with the carbs, and he should be eating a lot more protein. And you know, again, the sausage, right? Like, he shouldn't be eating a sausage because it has fat. That's why I'm saying he should have more protein. There's no reason why he can't put sauce in this stuff. There's no reason why it can't taste good. Again, he's 5 weeks out, but and it is possible to lose. Let's see, 12 and a half. So you're talking like about 26 pounds that like he has to lose in 5 weeks. Which I try to tell people, like, you can do it. You know, it's funny. I see a lot of spam pop-ups on fucking Instagram, and it's like, you know, these guys. I need 5 men, 5 dads who want to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. So I'll post and I'll say 20 pounds in 2 months. I can make you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. And they get a bunch of little idiots. Oh yeah, how do you do that? I don't know how you fucking do that. Yeah, because you're stupid and you don't understand. This guy's gonna drop 25 pounds in 5 weeks, but he's gonna drop even more than that. You'll see. It's easy to do if you know how to manipulate the carbs, the proteins, and the fats. So this meal I don't agree with. Way too much fat.
Fries, a little bit of chicken gravy on it, I think, or some sort of gravy. Might have put a bit of poo on.
He makes everything look like it tastes like the greatest thing on earth, which is amazing. Let's see where we're at right here. All right, let's see what day this is. They might have showed it already.
In London, it was in.
Now this is a good amount of food. I like this.
Pounds, weren't it? 81.5, I think it wasn't.
All right, so for some reason we skipped 2.5 weeks forward, which is crazy. So I'm guessing he didn't really drop too much weight. The last time we saw him, he was 183. So let's see where he is today. I'm gonna guess 175.
London, yeah, it was fucking very frustrated by that lad.
175.
79.5. 8.5 key basically, innit? Yeah, I'm fucking happier with that. Very much happier with that. Sparred for 6 rounds. Some fresh partners as well. Know what I mean? Elle jumped in today.
Alright, let's see where we're at now. Alright, where are we? I don't know what day we're at. Notice, he's lost nothing. It looks like he actually gained 3 pounds.
Under 80, yeah, that's the main thing.
He gained 3 pounds, which makes absolutely no sense, which means he had a cheat meal, or he cheated on the diet, or, what I think, way too much carbs, and he should have 0 fat at this point. It should be mostly protein, probably like 75% protein and 25% carbs. He'd do fine with that, true, like energy levels. You don't need fat, people. Your body makes it, especially when you're dieting.
79.
Pay attention.
9.4 after saying under the day, but 79.9 this morning.
Yeah, but you're 80 now, so that's not that much of a difference. Come on, man. And here we go again. You're going to see, right? I don't know what kind of gravy this is, but it's mostly chicken, and now he has a little piece of leaf there. It looks like he has practically 0 carbs because now this macro chef is panicking because he's 2.5 weeks out from the fight. He wouldn't have to be panicking. He should still have carbs in here, but now he has to go full-blown keto. And notice, you can get into ketosis without having fat. So, ketosis is another word for starvation. It means that you're way under your basal metabolic rate. He's probably taking in like 1,500 calories a day, but he should be doing it with high protein and little carbs. He should not be doing a no carb diet, especially with his training. It's dangerous for his joints, ligaments, tendons, and muscles. 10 days. All right, so we skipped only 4 days. Sparring session. Let's see where it's at. 171. So, all right. So he dropped a little bit. All right. So here we go. So now he has to get to 155 in 10 days. 155 in 10 days. Okay. You're talking 15 fucking pounds in 10 days. And people are complaining with me online, you can't lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. This guy's going to lose 15 pounds in 10 days. But watch what happens during this last 10-day dieting, which is the part that he has to fix. The major part he has to fix.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
Thanks to that, mate. 77.9.
Can get you one of these, dude.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now, check it out. Check it out. 171. He then travels.
Full of water here as well.
Right. And he's saying it's because he's full of water and he's walking around. That's correct. 5 pounds of water and 5 pounds of food? I don't think so.
I consider I've done 5 litres of water. I'm sorry, mate. You're good, man. I see you, mate. Give him a little pat on the shoulder. So it's all about making weight this week. But, you know, just that. We had a few.
He's just talking about having to do all the media obligations and everything else. so this is where the intense stuff happens, right? Look at that. 15 hours before weigh-in. Now look at how much he weighs and how much he has to drop. He has to get down to 155. 170. He has to drop 15 fucking pounds. Now, he can get away with 156. He has to drop 15 pounds in like 15 hours? That's a pound an hour. Think. How is he going to do it? He's going to do it by doing what these high school kids do, by killing themselves and complete dehydration. He's going to water load, which is going to force his body to start to expel water. It's going to mess with aldosterone and the other hormone. Why am I blanking out? It's aldosterone and the other one, ADH, antidiuretic hormone, which are the two hormones which regulate the water balance and your electrolyte balance and magnesium, sodium, and potassium.
It's some pads, yeah, just to raise body.
Pound 169, then after that, and some parts over 13 pounds to lose.
So he still has 14 pounds to go. He's hours before he has to fight. Think about it. So this is a method that he uses. He submerges himself in water. He's hot. It's hot water. And so he's not going to retain water because it's hot. And he allows all the water to just kind of drain out in the tub, and he dries himself off and he weighs himself. 157. This is like in a matter of like 5 hours. Okay? So he's only... He can get away with the 156. He has to drop 1.2 pounds, and he's going to do a method called floating, which simply means that he's just gonna sleep it off. Because as you sleep, you sweat, you urinate, all that beautiful stuff.
That was one of your easiest weight cuts, that.
I'll say, yeah, one of the easiest weight cuts.
Right. Now, it wasn't an easy weight cut. It was an easy water cut, an easy dehydration. Okay?
Careful. Last night I went to bed like 171 and woke up 168.8, so it should float a pound.
See, float?
Night, easy. I don't think I'm going to have to do a bath in the morning there.
Shredded. And what does he come in at? 156. 156. Guys, this guy went from, in a matter of 15 hours, he went from 170 pounds to 156, and he did it through dehydration. Now, what are the problems here? The problem is early on, he believed that he had a 10-week diet going on. But as we see in the video, at 6 weeks out, he's not dropping anything. Then he does a week of dieting, and guess what? He's still not dropping weight. Then he drops a little bit of weight, and then 2.5 weeks later, we see that he's basically putting weight on again, or he's staying stagnant. Two problems. Number one, the reason why he wasn't losing weight the first 5 weeks is because he was still having a cheat meal every single day. He didn't cut out the cheat meal until he was 5 weeks out. That's when the diet officially started. You don't diet by starting out with cheat meals. You reward yourself a cheat meal after 2 or 3 weeks of dieting. That's number one. Number two, he still had fat in his diet. I mean, you're dieting. Take out the fat. All right? Unless you're obese, don't believe the bullshit with the keto diet unless you have some type of pre-diet. You know, if you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic and you have a predisposition to being diabetic, then like the keto diet works for you. But then you'd have problems because you need to take insulin because your insulin levels would just drop. You'd be highly insulin sensitive, so any sugar that you do take in will make you pass out. So the problem with Paddy Pimblett's diet is that he had way too much fat, definitely not enough protein, and he was having a cheat meal every day for the first 5 weeks. He drops the cheat meal, and in 2.5 weeks of not eating cheat meals, he starts to drop weight, dropping a lot of fat. He got super shredded, right? Now, look at him. This is not a healthy person. This is a really fucked up, depleted person who is near death. Look at his eye sockets. I mean, his eye sockets are going inwards. His muscles are completely drained. I mean, it's like his skin needs to expand beyond because he has no elasticity because of the fat loss. And now he's going to do a crazy carb up, which we don't see in the video because he did a video prior to this where he has to carb load, and by the time he carb loads, it'll be 36 hours that he has to carb load before the fight. So he has 1 night to sleep, and he probably takes in like 1,000 carbs, and that's not an exaggeration. And he's doing it by taking a lot of pastries. He's eating no protein because his diet and his coaches and his doctors, whoever, his nutritionist has convinced him that the worst thing he could take in is protein before a fight, which is the dumbest shit I ever heard. But it works for him because he puts on the weight and he feels great. So whatever. But there's a better way to do it. Trust me. Anyway, he started dieting 5 weeks out. He might have thought that he was dieting 10 weeks out, but he wasn't, because he had way too much fat. So now, as an emergency measure, they had to completely cut out the fat and give him practically zero carbs. I'm pretty sure that the ratio from protein to carbs was probably like 60% protein and 40% carbs and zero fat. Then they started to add the fat back in. And what happened? He started to put weight on and he stagnated. Then he was 170 pounds and he had to cut 15 pounds of weight 15 hours out before the fight. So he starts doing all this crazy cardio and this mock sparring and just like getting his body to sweat. And he dehydrated himself, basically losing a pound an hour of water. And Paddy Pimblett could have gotten to 165 pounds, and he only really would have needed to dehydrate himself of 10 pounds, which is still a lot. I personally think he could probably get down to 162 pounds dieting right. And by dieting right, I mean, if you're going to start 10 weeks out, Paddy, no more cheat meal, no fat whatsoever, zero fat. Carbs have to stay in, and it should be a 60-40 balance, protein 60%, carbs 40%. And every week, you should be dropping 3 pounds. Now, you're talking like 30 pounds over the course of 10 weeks. That would mean if you're going from 190, you're going to be at 160. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. But the people in your corner, again, I'm not talking about your coaches. Paul Rimmer's awesome, and your strength and conditioning coach is awesome, and your boxing coach and jiu-jitsu and all these guys, they're awesome. I don't know who your actual dietitian is. I don't know who's advising you on what to take for macros. I don't know if it's the UFC PI, the Performance Institute, telling you what to take. But just looking at this video, your diet really started 5 weeks out when you stopped taking the cheat meals. And notice that you had to go through an emergency diet mode and completely drop the carbs out. So you went full-blown keto without even having fat because you wanted to get your calories so low. You were probably having, again, I'm guesstimating, somewhere between 1,200 and 1,400 calories, 1,500 max. Something that they didn't show in this video, but they do show in the prior videos, when he was doing that whole water depletion, he was in the tub and he had the towels and he's running around, he's sweating and all that stuff. He would take a Jolly Rancher, and Jolly Ranchers are pure carbs, and they're exactly 5 grams of carbs, and he would take that without any water because he was trying to deplete water. And that helps him stay sane because, the body still needs carbs. And let me teach you guys something, right? The ketogenic diet does not turn carb burning off. It does not switch fat burning on. That's horseshit. Your body, your brain specifically, needs carbs. Excuse me. So during the keto diet, you have this process which never stops called gluconeogenesis. That is the conversion of glucose from non-glucose sources. Well, guess what the best non-glucose source is? It would be protein. Well, if you're not taking enough protein, which he wasn't, guess where the protein is going to come from? It's going to come from your muscles, because the muscles are an abundant source of amino acids. So your body leaches muscle in order to create carbs for your brain. So if you're a sane person, you will understand that the ketogenic diet, if you're a bodybuilder, or if you're someone who's trying to get in shape, is the worst thing you could do, because you need to have cheat meals. Okay? If you don't have a cheat meal, you'll starve yourself to death. You will die. Or rigor mortis, whatever sets in first. But that's why this guy had so many problems 5 weeks out. That's why he was frustrated he wasn't losing weight. The reason why he lost so much weight in that first 2.5 weeks, which is 2.5 weeks just before his show, which, like you see early in the video if you go back and watch it. By the way, go like, subscribe, and follow at Paddy Pimblett. It's Paddy the Baddy UFC on YouTube, and go check him out on Instagram also. But you definitely want to watch the full video in its entirety without my commentary. But he had to go through a full panic mode of dieting. And he went full-blown keto without the fat. Then he started to add fat back in, and what happened? He stagnated. And, I mean, you're going to tell me 15 hours before the show, he went from 190 pounds to 170 pounds. It took him 10 weeks to do that. I could easily get Paddy Pimblett, easily, from 190 pounds to 160 pounds in 10 weeks, which means he really only needed to deplete like 5 pounds of water. So, again, difference of opinions. He thinks he has this figured out. He has a lot of smart people around him, I'm sure. I'm sure that his dietitian and his nutritionist, they do all these complicated scans, which you don't need, because the only thing you really need is that scale. Because they're not giving you body fat caliper measurements. They just want to make sure that you make weight. And you can do it differently without having to starve yourself to death, Paddy. All right? And by the way, he doesn't starve himself in the off season. As everyone knows, he gets to be Paddy the Fatty for a little while. His words, not mine. So yeah, it's a great video. Go check it out on YouTube. But those are the things he needs to change. And there is a major secret. During his diet, he can take a very specific thing. I'm not going to say what it is. It is a macronutrient. It is a specific macronutrient. It is also the reason why people who follow the ketogenic diet come to a point where they stagnate. And no one, not even these self-proclaimed alleged gurus, know what this thing is. Doctors know what it is. People who do research know what it is. A very specific nutrient that you can get at GNC or Vitamin Shop or wherever your vitamins and healthcare needs are sold. And it's not illegal. It's completely legal. It is something that is in every type of food, especially protein. That's a little hint. And, whey protein I'm talking about specifically. So now we know what the macronutrient is. It is a specific type of protein taken in a very specific amount when you stagnate in the ketogenic diet. If anyone knows what it is, you can write it in the comments here so that you can help out Paddy Pimblett over there and see how that guy stayed in shape and stayed sane too. So there you go, Paddy the Pimblett. Paddy the Pimblett. My God. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Go follow him at UFC. Where is it again? This is Paddy. What's your YouTube page again? Paddy the Baddy UFC. There it is. Right. Like, follow, subscribe him, not me. Me, I really don't care if you like, follow, subscribe. I'm not here for that shit. I'm here to just talk. Have fun.